He's not here today. He's at the Kansas Association of Counties Convention.
Got it.
We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning and welcome to the October 18, 2021 meeting for the Board of County Commissioners for Shawnee County. My name is Kevin Cook. I serve as the chair this year, also representing District 2. Joining me this morning is Commissioner Bill Rippon, representing District 1. Good morning.
Good morning.
Commissioner Mays is at the Kansas Association of Counties meeting in Kansas City, so he will not be joining us this morning. Madam Clerk, our first item.
Item 3, consent agenda.
There are 4 items. Is there a question or motion?
Motion to approve.
I'll second. Motion to approve by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. All opposed, reflect that it passes 2-0. Our next item.
Item 4, new business. A, County Clerk. Number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Okay, under Public Works, Bartlett and West, $15,000 for design service for U.S. Topeka, or for South Topeka Boulevard, Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad crossing removal. Under ROD, Environmental Systems Research, $35,600 is for ArcGIS annual maintenance. And that is all I have, and I'll move for approval.
I'll second. Motion for approval by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. All opposed, reflect that it passes 2-0. Our next item.
Number 2, there are no correction orders.
Great.
Item B, Public Works. Number 1, public hearing and consider approval of resolution number 2021-76 to create lateral sewer district number 9 as part of the Shawnee County Main Sewer District number 74 to serve 18 lots in Sherwood Park subdivision number 9.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jeff Hunt, Deputy Director of Public Works. The issue before you today is to create the Main Sewer District number 74 out in Sherwood Park. I threw a presentation map up on the screen here. You can see the Sherwood Park is the one that's outlined here, this area right in here. And there's a subdivision part of that. It's just basically this cul-de-sac right here is what we're talking about. And I can show you that on a map. So the cover sheet of the, pull that up for you. So the 18 lots that we're talking about is shown here. And you can see that. So really, that's all the presentation I have. Really, this is the sewer district out in Sherwood. This all drains to the Sherwood system. They did go to the city of Topeka to get approval for the district to be created. This district is in the city limits. With that, if you have any questions, I'll be happy.
Any questions?
I don't have any questions.
I'll move for approval.
Commissioner Cook.
Yes.
We have to have a hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. You're right. Thank you. Motion to open public hearing.
Second.
All in favor say aye. All opposed, reflect that it passes 3-0 or 2-0 to open public hearing. And are there any individuals wanting to speak in favor of or opposed to this resolution? Seeing none, are there any other questions for Public Works? Hearing none.
I would move that we close the hearing
And adopt.
and adopt the request.
So a motion to close the public hearing and adopt the resolution by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. All opposed, reflect that it passes 2-0. Next item.
Item C, Solid Waste. Number 1, consider approval of request to issue requests for quotations for the purchase of various pieces of motorized equipment.
Good morning, Commissioner. Bill Sutton, Shawnee County Solid Waste. Typically, I wait till after the first of the year to issue a request for quotations, but with the supply chain issues that we are seeing across the country, want to get a head start on this and at least get the request for quotations this year and get these vehicles ordered. This is part of my annual capital purchase request that got approved this past June. Looking at 7 trucks with 1 specialized container, looking right at around $959,500 estimated based off of what it will get for our trade-in. And this will all come out of our 2022 solid waste budget. Subject to your questions, gentlemen.
Questions?
What kind of weight are we looking at for receiving equipment?
The vehicles that I ordered this past March, it's anticipated I will receive none of them this year. The wait is just that long with the manufacturing process, so we're looking at possibly a year wait for our vehicles that we're ordering.
Okay.
Are there other vehicles that would be in the marketplace that would be maybe new but used, that we would be able to avoid the wait? Or are we going to be having any issues with our trucks with the wait?
We are anticipating no maintenance issues with the delay here, sir. Our vehicles are in good enough shape. They're young enough. They're part of our 5-year rotation, so we're not anticipating any shortfalls in operational status.
Any other questions?
None.
Is there a motion?
I'll move for approval.
Second. Motion to approve by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Reflected, it passes 2-0. Thank you. Our next item.
Item D, Human Resources, number 1, consider approval of request to issue request for proposals for pre-employment physicals, drug screens, post-accident testing, and workers' compensation occupational medicine services.
Good morning, Commissioners. Angela Lewis with Human Resources. We've not been out for RFP for these services in several years. This is an opportunity for us to ensure that our current and future employees are getting the best services possible.
Okay. Any questions?
None.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Reflect that it passes 2-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next item.
Item E, Parks and Recreation, number 1, consider approval of request to solicit bids to replace the roof of the Helen Hawker Theater located in Gage Park, with funding to be designated through the Shuttered Venue Operators Grant.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Boyd, Parks and Recreation. We, as stated, we are requesting permission to go out for bids to replace the second half of the roof on the Helen Hawker Theater. Question?
None. I'll move for approval.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Reflect that it passes 2-0. Our next item.
Number 2, consider approval of the request to reject the single bid for the reconstruction of Cypress Ridge Golf Course Green number 13 and allow to rebid the project with slight changes.
Morning, Commissioners. Jeremy Myers, Shawnee County Parks and Recreation. We went out for bid earlier this fall, and the bid was excessively higher than what our budget was. We're just asking to go through some changes in the bid process and go out for bid. This work won't happen until fall of 2022, so we are trying to get ahead of ourselves. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Questions?
None.
I'll move to approve to request to reject the single bid.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Reflect that it passes 2-0.
Thank you.
Our next item.
Number 3, consider approval of request to award bid to Net Connection to replace backstop netting on all 4 quad fields at Bettis Family Sports Complex at a cost of $19,995, with funding from the Capital Maintenance 3R Fund and authorization and execution of Contract C-350 2021 for same.
Good morning, Commissioners. Randy Luby, Parks and Recreation. You gave us approval a couple months ago to go out for bid for this project. Net Connections was the most lowest and most responsive bidder. 2 other bids did come in lower, but they did not meet specifications. So asking your approval to award the bid and contract.
Any questions for Randy?
No, I'll move for approval.
Second. Motion made by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Reflect that it passes 2-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Our next item.
Item F, Health Department. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of Contract C-351, 2021, renewal contract with Wabunsee County for women, infants, and children WIC services to be provided by the Shawnee County Health Department for a budgeted amount of $8,527 to be paid by the Kansas Department of Health and Environment for the period of October 1st, 2021 through September 30th, 2022.
Good morning, Commissioners. Teresa Fisher, Director with the Health Department. As the clerk read, this is for our annual agreement for the Wabunsee County Health Department in order for us to be able to help facilitate the WIC services there in their community. So we are a direct pass-through from KDHE. What we do is supply a dietitian that goes out typically once a month to Wabunsee County to provide the certifications and appointments for the WIC participants out there. Be happy to answer any questions.
Occasionally, we will be asked about why Shawnee County is providing services to Wabunsee or Osage County. And I know that this is a service that we've been doing for some time now. But first, is the Shawnee County taxpayers, are they paying for the services for other counties?
Absolutely not. This is direct funding through Kansas Department of Health and Environment.
Okay. And why do we had this cooperative agreement for this? And how does this benefit Shawnee County or the other counties?
Sure, yeah. It's interesting to ask. I don't know the true history of how this all started, so I'm going to need to go back and review that myself. But I would say anytime we have an opportunity to partner, these are two smaller health departments that don't have the staff that we have, and specifically to do the WIC program, you do need a registered dietitian. So these are sometimes not readily accessible or easy to find. So in order to be able to offer these services to keep those participants in their home counties versus having to drive to ours, for me, it's a win-win for both communities.
Great, thank you. Any other questions? I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. All opposed, reflect that it passes 2-0. Our next item.
Number 2, consider authorization and execution of Contract C-352, 2021, renewal contract with Osage County for women, infants, and children WIC services to be provided by the Shawnee County Health Department for a budgeted amount of $22,581 to be paid by the Kansas Department of Health and Environment for the period of October 1st, 2021 through September 30th, 2022.
Good morning, Commissioners. Teresa Fisher, Director, Health Department. So this contract is essentially the same, other than this is for Osage County. Typically, we provide dietitian services to go there at least once a week. They do have more participants than Wabunsee County does. But again, this is direct pass-through funding from Kansas Department of Health and Environment.
Questions?
No, I'll move for approval.
Second. Motion made by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. All opposed, reflect that it passes 2-0. Thank you.
Commissioners.
Our next item.
Item G, District Attorney, number 1, consider approval of a request to transfer $20,000 from the DA office space lease account to the DA office renovations account.
Good morning, Commissioners. Mike Kage, Shawnee County District Attorney. If you will recall, towards the end of the year last year, I asked for a surplus from the 2020 budget to be transferred into a special project fund to allow for leasing, if that was an option for the year we're in now. The fact that we have additional office space due to the generosity of IT obviates the need for that fund. However, in a previous year, we created a fund for renovations within the DA's office, renovations and furnishings, anticipating the day when we would have additional office space. So this request is essentially to merge those two funds, to transfer the 20 over the 50, so that next year, when we do have all the office space allocated to us, we'll be able to furnish it and renovate it accordingly.
Questions for the District Attorney?
No, I would move for approval.
All second. And all in favor say aye. All opposed, reflect that it passes 2-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Next item.
Item H, Sheriff's Office, number 1, consider authorization and execution of Contract C-353, 2021 with Enterprise Fleet Management to start the vehicle leasing program of 10 non-pursuit rated vehicles with a first-year lease payment of approximately $80,172 to be paid from 2022 CIP funds or 2022 budgeted funds.
Good morning, Commissioner. Shane Hubler, Shawnee County Sheriff's Office. This is just to get the process started. We have spoke with you in times past about the option of trying to lease some vehicles to hopefully maximize our funds that we have available to us in conversations with Enterprise. That process is very long at this point in time. If we start the process now, we can hopefully get some vehicles ordered with delivery to be at least a year away with the current supply chain issues. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions?
No. Should this be an authorization or an acknowledgement?
Since it's a contract that would potentially expand, I believe that this is a authorization as a.
Yeah, the BCC needs to approve it. There's also a guarantee, I believe, provision in it.
Okay.
So we would move to approve, and I'll move to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Move to approve by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, reflect that it passes 2-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Our next item.
Administrative communications.
This is an opportunity for any department head or member of the public to address the commission on any item.
Good morning, Commissioners. Teresa Fisher, Director with the Health Department. I have a couple of items today. The first is just a reminder that we are doing our drive-through flu clinic. I announced this last Thursday, but again, it is this Wednesday, October 20th at Hummer Sports Park in the East parking lot. This is for those 19 years of age and older and are uninsured. No appointment is necessary, and we're asking everyone to wear a mask that is receiving the flu vaccine. The second piece I'd like to announce is I would like to introduce the newest member of our leadership team. Janelle Carter joined the Shawnee County Health Department in early August. She is serving as the Family Health Division Manager, and over the past few months has been learning lots and getting up to speed. So I wanted you to have a chance to meet her.
Good morning, Commissioners. Janelle Carter, Family Health Division Manager, Health Department.
Janelle, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to work for Shawnee County.
Okay. Over the past 27 years, I've been supporting people towards independence and community inclusion. I began as a direct care professional and spent over 10 years as a supervisor. I moved into a manager position, then a director, both positions overseeing licensing and quality assurance programs for persons receiving Medicaid, as well as those experiencing mental health. I then came over to the Health Department to assist in the programs over here.
Great. Well, welcome to Shawnee County, and glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Morning, Commissioners. Jeremy Myers, Parks and Recreation. Next Monday, we'll stock the Lake Shawnee with trout. We'll do this as a Facebook Live event and as a public, public event as well. It'll be at the boat ramp at the north end of the lake over off of 29th, just west of Bettis Ball Diamonds. So the lake will be closed for fishing starting Monday, October 25th, and will reopen for trout season on Monday, November 1st. So we do have a great partnership with Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks to provide this opportunity for all the anglers, and it's just a wonderful event, and 7,000 pounds of trout will be stocked by our group in Missouri. So, any questions?
Well, just the questions I always get asked is that it is 7,000 pounds of trout that we're stocking in the lake. And did we go for size or quality or versus quantity?
You be the judge if you want to see what the trout that are coming in next Monday. We'll have plenty of opportunities to go and touch them before you try to catch them.
Commissioner Rippon, you can be our designee.
We'll let you put in the first trout.
Okay. What an honor.
All right. Thank you.
Kurt Niehaus, Director of Public Works. I just want to remind everyone that starting this morning, traffic on South Topeka Boulevard will be upset a little bit in that contractor's going to start building crossovers in the median. This is in relation to the BNSF track removal. So traffic will be one lane in each direction. It'll be pushed to the outside, the right lane. Again, that's starting this morning. Probably the work is ongoing as we speak. And then at some point today, or maybe tomorrow, on southbound Topeka Boulevard, it'll be taken down to one lane. That inside left lane will then cross over the median, and we'll have head-to-head traffic in the northbound lane. So one lane in each direction. So I encourage the public to be aware of the construction, watch out for equipment and construction workers, be safe, and this project should go quite quickly, weather permitting. Thank you.
Thank you, Kurt.
Good morning, Commissioners. Andrew Howell, Shawnee County Election Commissioner. Just a reminder, voting is going on in the office as we speak from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. this week, October 18th through 22nd. And then again next week, same thing, 25th through 29th, 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Trying to make sure people have a chance to get in to vote if they want to after work. And then on November the 1st, that last Monday, it'll be till noon. The other thing I just wanted to address briefly, I noticed an article in the paper over the weekend about a media stick, and so I just wanted to talk for a minute about how we do things in Shawnee County. I think transparency matters when it comes to elections, and so we tend to talk about any kinds of issues that we're having. We tend to let people know what's going on. So in 2020, we actually had a media stick that simply got forgotten by an election worker on an extra machine that wasn't used. They were just trying to be efficient. But I actually told the media that we weren't going to report the final numbers until we had the media stick in hand. It was actually uploaded into the database, and that we were going to verify that it hadn't been touched or been exposed. And we actually have an additional process that we use, that we have a void tape across those media sticks in the tabulation machine, so that we can verify that they haven't been off premises or gotten access to. So just for the public's knowledge, we're very, very particular about how we handle that. We handled it correctly. And remember, election workers only work twice a year. They don't do this full time, so they're basically volunteer with a small amount of pay. So I think just to let the public know that we do take security issues very, very carefully, consider how we do things, how we organize them. I just want to let you know we intend to continue doing that. So we have a lot of steps and processes in place. And I just wanted to assure everybody, if you read that story, I thought Brian Caskey did a great job of explaining that it was an additional machine that wasn't used. But because we like to be absolutely certain that everything is included in those final reports, we delayed reporting for about 30 minutes until we verified the condition and all the additional issues related to that. Also, I know there's some conversation in the public about wanting to verify counts and doing audits. Just a reminder that in 2017, the legislature actually required us to do an audit every election. So a reminder for the public, number one, that we do basically an audit of our system, and the public is welcome to attend that. I believe that's going to be on Thursday before Election Day. But we will have a public announcement. If you want to see the actual testing of the equipment to verify that it works, you're welcome to attend that. And then we actually do a post-election test of the election equipment to verify that it works as expected. And additionally, we always then, according to that new law, pick a couple of precincts randomly. I believe that that process is randomly done. We are trying to actually put those on Facebook Live so that the public can see them even if they don't have time to be there. And then we actually verify that the paper count of every ballot and every vote that was cast on this ballot matches what we reported on election night. So there are a lot of additional safeguards that are in place the last few years. So just a reminder to the public that we take it seriously. We actually do functional audits as well as tests of the machines themselves. So I think just wanted to let you know about those. And if you have any additional questions, happy to answer.
Thank you, Andrew. I know that a year ago when the election transpired, there was media coverage of us stopping the count, finding the media stick. There was transparency at that time. And so it was with a little bit of shock when a state senator says this was the first that he had ever heard of it, or first that he'd ever known about it. I found that to be a little bit shocking because it was very well reported in the media at the time and very transparent by your office. It was also discussed during the canvassing in November of last year. And your transparency has been noted, at least here at the county commission level. I might also note that the audit that is done afterwards has not revealed any no mishandling of the information.
Right.
Irregularities. Thank you.
Yeah, no, our counts have always been on. And we also, like I said, we do about 3 separate checks verifying that the machines are accurately tallying and reporting results. The other thing I think it's important for the public to know is there is actually a copy of every ballot that runs through every machine. We don't know whose it is, but there's actually a digital copy additionally. Plus, every vote total is recorded on a little ticker tape that comes off at the end of the night. So there's about 3 or 4 different levels of security. If there's ever a question, we have other ways to verify what did or did not occur on those machines. And I think the thing that everybody that I talk to is pretty happy about is for every voter, there is a piece of paper. So if there's ever a question, we can always match the poll book numbers up to the number of pieces of paper in the blue ballot machine. And of course, I never touch those. Election staff never touch those. That's always done as required by statute by a team of Democrats and Republicans and/or unaffiliated. So it's a bipartisan board that actually would do that. But I think those are important safeguards that are in the law that I think it's important for us to talk about from time to time. So appreciate that.
Commissioner Rippon, any questions?
Questions?
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Good morning, Commissioners. Angela Lewis with Human Resources. I'd just like to remind everyone that open enrollment starts today. We will have vendors at various locations throughout the week. There will be flu and COVID shots available at all of our sessions. I'd also remind everyone that annual enrollment is online for you to get your benefits. Everyone must go online and enroll, even if you're not changing anything. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other administrative communications this morning? Commissioner Rippon?
Well, it was kind of a mixed weekend for football. Kansas City did great. Washburn University had an excellent win over a highly ranked opponent, so congratulations to them. We also had the Alice Cooper concert at Stormont Vale Event Center. So good weekend. I'll let you talk about the Ted Inslee event.
Yeah. There was a celebration for Ted Inslee at the Lake Shawnee Garden House. Randy, I just want to thank you for helping set that up, organize that. We had past county commissioners, past county employees, past state employees, past parks employees, current parks and officials. The Senator Dietrich did give a resolution from the state of Kansas honoring Ted Inslee for 60 years of service. And it was just a really nice celebration to see everything that had been done and to hear the stories about how Lake Shawnee had been transformed from not much more than just a fishing lake to the beautiful lake and asset that we have now. Just a really good testament to a person's character. So glad we were able to do it, and thank you, Randy, for helping set that up. Our next item.
Executive sessions?
There is not need for an executive session today, so we are adjourned.
Yes, we have one resolution. Let's see. Let me find it for you real quick. This is it.
Thanks.
All right.